I saw you at the Corona Capital 2 years ago, and I really hope you can return to Mexico soon.
Our favorite day as a band.
Yeah.
That festival was
amazing.
so much fun,
Yeah.
and the crowd was incredible, and like, yeah, we loved that. We loved that so much. Can't wait to be back. How are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you doing, guys? How's everything going?
Good, we're alright. How are you?
Well, guys, you're a band of four friends who met a few years ago at a school, and thanks to common musical taste for bands like the Stone Roses. Do you remember that moment when you say, yes, let's make a band? I mean, what was it motivated you to follow this musical dream?
I'm not sure when the moment was when we decided that we wanted to be in a band, but I think we always kind of just felt like the music was the thing that we wanted to do, and that's what kind of brought us together. We didn't really know that we'd end up being in a band, but here we are. Maybe it was our love of the Stone Roses, or maybe it was the love of Motorhead that brought us together.
Our lack of friends.
Or our lack of friends.
In addition to the Stone Roses and Joy Division, I read that Blossoms had a great personal influence for you. They were one of the emerging bands in Europe that inspired to follow the path. For you, what has been the most difficult part of being an emerging band? I mean, do you feel any kind of fear or pressure?
We've been blessed, thankfully,
To be an emerging band in the first place.
yeah, like compared to a lot of other bands, we've been so blessed with how quickly we have emerged and how easy it's been. It's obviously been a great slug behind the scenes, but compared to a lot of other bands, we feel very, very grateful.
I think there's a long period of time that people don't really know about, which is when we were teenagers, we were just rehearsing like almost every day and going out to play gigs wherever we could, like tiny venues playing to nobody. And I think when it did kind of start to pick up heat, it happened really fast for us, which was so exciting. And yeah, like Josh said, we're just extremely grateful for that, because a lot of bands that we used to play with didn't get that. And
Now, guys, to get where you are, you had the support of your families who gave you the opportunity to become a band and not go to college for a couple of years. If things had not been like that and you had to study a career, what profession would you like to have?
I've asked myself this question so many times. I honestly have no idea what I'd be doing. I'd probably be collecting bins. It's like my life was always going to involve music some way, shape or form. I don't know what else I'd be doing really.
maybe like go to circus school or something. Be an absolute clown.
Learn to ride a unicycle.
Yeah. Speaking for myself, this guy's very smart. And this guy's very smart. This guy's very smart. But like, I wasn't
This
really
guy's very smart.
very good at school though, academically.
You were better than me.
And I don't know. I think maybe I was trying to. There was a period where like we were all trying to maybe go to college and do the band at the same time, and I like applied for like a photography course in London with like some film, and like the lads were going to do music production. Ryan was going to do BIM, which is a music college in Dublin, and then we just kind of realised that we weren't going to be able to give the band the amount of attention that it needed if we went to college, and we just decided to take a year out and really give it a go. And thankfully it did pay off. But I honestly, to answer your question, have no idea what else to be doing.
Changing the subject, a few months ago you announced your debut album, It Will Always Be Like This, which will arrive in a couple of weeks. First of all, could you tell us more about the creative process of this album, like from writing the lyrics to the songs to composing the music and recording this material in the studio?
A process that's taken us the better part of probably 5 years to make. I mean, it won't always be like this. It's the oldest song on the album, and we wrote that when we were like 16 or 17 or something. And that was the first song that we put out into the world like 2 years ago. And you know, it meant something entirely different then. And when it came to naming the album, it seemed like it was a very prominent title that was sticking out at us. It seemed to suit the time that we were living in and stuff. So that was always, I think, going to be on the record one way or another. Yeah, it's like there's songs on there that are like that made us fall in love with being in a band in the first place, like My Honest Face and Night on the Floor, songs that we'd been playing and touring for years and years. And then there's songs on there like Totally or Who's Your Money On or In My Sleep that were only really written after the pandemic begun. So it's taken us a long time, but also for a lot of the songs, it's taken a really short space of time to get recorded and make their way onto the record.
The newest songs took the shortest amount of time to write, I think, because it was a lot of maybe focus that we didn't have before, and like Who's Your Money On was the last one to finish, but it's probably one of my favorite songs we've done. And it's just a super rewarding process. But usually how we write songs, there's no like formula to it, you know what I mean? Like we want our music to feel fluid, so we write it in a really fluid way. Like some songs come about from us just bashing away together, like jamming, or some songs come from like demos that we have of like chords and a riff. It's really like, there's no two ways about it, you know? We like to keep things different.
Guys, this album has clear influences from bands that you like. We have some that have been formed for years, such as The Cure and Joy Division, but also we have more recent ones, such as the 1975, The Killers, and The Strokes. How do you manage to make this sound from different eras and still have your personal stamp in the songs you make?
Good question.
It's
hard.
I think we naturally sort of just write songs that sound like they could be written by any of our favorite groups.
Yeah.
You know, so we've got like Who's Your Money On, which sounds like Talking Heads meets New Order, or In My Sleep, which sounds like Killing Joke meets Thin Lizzy or something. So, you know, it's strange. It's something that we never really set out to write a song that's going to sound like a certain band or a certain artist that we're influenced by. It kind of just naturally happens with the sheer amount of music that we consume on the daily, you know.
I think we never, like, we're not the kind of band who, you know, started and we were like, we're gonna wear, you know, this, and we're gonna wear suits, and we're gonna use these kind of pedals, and we're gonna talk about this subject matter. Like, we just were mates who started to play music, and we just started to play whatever music came out of us, and we still do that.
One of the singles of this debut album is Cheer Up Baby, a song that you describe as a love letter to the people who are dealing with mental health issues. What motivated you to talk about this specific topic in this song?
Probably lockdown, just that happening, and I think that song was around for a long time, and I think young people in general, the transition between being a teenager and being an adult is a pretty serious one for a lot of folks, and people go through it at different ages, but it can be quite mentally challenging, and especially during lockdown when it feels like your youth is being taken away from you, that can maybe seem a little darker. And I think Cheer Up Baby then took up that mantle, and it meant something completely different in the pandemic to what it meant before. And you know, I think that song was really, at the beginning it was kind of like, do we want to release Cheer Up Baby in the middle of a pandemic when everybody's, you know, like feeling a bit hurt? But obviously, you know, like, our fans have fallen in love with that song, and there was an Instagram page called Please Release Cheer Up Baby, so we had to do it. We were held at ransom. And you know, that song is just, it's a love letter to our fans, to kind of just stick in there, and we'll be back.
Now, speaking of this, I read that in this album you address many issues about the experience that people go through when they are young. Could you tell us what else you say about "and it won't always be like this"?
It won't always be like this kind of just means, I won't go into the gritty details of the song, but the title itself just kind of means that things won't always be the same, and especially right now, the future looks so unclear, and it's always unwritten, but right now it's extremely unclear. So it kind of just means like things won't always be like this, so let's just have a laugh while we can and enjoy being young. And you don't know where you're going to be in 5 years, so it's really just about taking the moment and enjoying the present.
Now, guys, with a practically short career, you have already managed to be support band for some of your favorite artists, such as Noel Gallagher and Blossoms. Is there a group or artist with whom you would like to share the stage? Who is it and why?
Good question. The Strokes, yeah. We really wanted to get a tour with the Strokes because I don't know, we just think they're dead cool and we love their music, and they were a massive part of our childhood and wanting to be in a band and stuff like that. So that would be a pretty amazing thing. But we were also going to support Kings of Leon, who were also one of our favorite bands at one point, and that was going to be cool. But yeah, pandemic ended that. But yeah, I'd say the Strokes would be a pretty mega one.
Talking about the pandemic, your plans were frustrated by COVID-19. However, I see that you guys are already beginning to confirm dates in some parts of the world, such as North America. What is it that excites you the most and scares you the most about going back on stage after so long?
Hope that I can still play my instrument by the time I get back.
People have showed up.
That it can take our weight. Not eat too much food.
We're more excited than nervous, I think. I think we're excited to see all of our fans again because, you know, they're the reason, well, one of the many reasons why we're still a band today. You know, they've given us a lot of reason to, you know, make this record in the first place. They reignite our love for the job every day, so we can't wait to see them all again.
Now, guys, finally, 4 years have been passed since you released your first single, I Want You. If we compare it with the more recent, that is Who's Your Money On? How would you describe Inhaler's music evolution?
It's been a long journey. I don't know, we kind of changed. We want to be a different band every day. And I think that's part of the excitement of being in this band, is just the spontaneity of it. It's only the beginning of our evolution anyway, that's for sure. Even just starting to get working on the second album and hearing the ideas that are flying about, the potential of what could come next is exciting. And you know, I think this first album isn't the end of a journey, it's obviously the start of one. But yeah, I think there's going to be a lot in store for Inhaler's future, for sure.
Well, guys, thank you so much. And I saw you at the Corona Capital 2 years ago, and I really hope you can return to Mexico soon.
Our favorite day as a band.
Yeah.
That festival was
amazing.
so much fun,
Yeah.
and the crowd was incredible, and like, yeah, we loved that. We loved that so much. Can't wait to be back.
We do. Well, take care, bye.
Take care.
Thank you.